All right, hopefully it's not too dark. I just wanted to do a quick video explaining more in depth as to how what I've dubbed the far end spooled end fed half wave works. If you're familiar with something like the spool tenna, the real and the un are one and the same. So the un is actually built into the spool, the center of the spool, and that's how that works. In this, it's a bit different. You do have to have two separate units here, one being just the spool with the radiating element, and then you've got the separate un. This is a 49-to-1. I'm actually gonna have to swap these around, but I got a 49-to-1. I've got just a short lead of coax, just so I can do this example. I've got it twisted up in a 1-to-1. That way I'm not having to kind of get rid of the current mode choke, I believe is what it's called, or common current choke, or whatever you want to call them. So that's kind of the setup we've got. For the radio, I've just got a G90. I've got a small piece of wire here just to act as a counterpoise if I end up needing one. Most times on this I don't, but every environment's different, so I end up bringing one anyways. All right, back to before I got sidetracked. The kind of operation of how this works. Unlike the spool tenna, like I said, the spool tenna, the spool and the un are the same unit, so this would be the feed point. It's close to the ground. We'd say like this clip right here would go up into a tree. Say you have a 40-meter end-fed half wave, you'd have to spool out all of that antenna, regardless if you're using 40 meters or not. You might just be trying to do 20 meters and higher. But that's where this differs. So obviously we've got the feed point and the un down low, and we've got the spool up high. Now this is a 80-meter end-fed half-wave spool. Even though this is got enough wire for an 80-meter, I don't have to use all of it. I've successfully used this down to 10 meters, which is a very small, comparatively small radiating element, and still had good success with it. Now typically I don't go that low. Usually I'll go at least 20, just because it's just a lot to carry if I'm only doing those small, those higher bands. But essentially kind of how we'll do it, and obviously you'll see how I do it. I'll put this up into a tree, or I'll get the in this case paracord up into a tree. Once I've done that, I will put this with just enough tension that I can still pull it, but it's not going to free spool. So I can pull that from way down here while this is up into a tree, but this is still going to maintain when I stop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that line up real quick. We'll get the spool up into the tree, and then we'll be back after that. All right. This rip fucking shot. That is the most unfortunate time for that to rip. I don't have any spares with me. No way. Of course it did. I might be wrong here, but I didn't. All right, where's the camera at? We're back. Oh, there you are. Hold on, I'll get you back in here. All right, I thought we were done. As you saw, that broke. However, this was about to be a learning lesson of make sure you have extras. I forgot I had actually put this inside the little compartment, which, by the way, the spool launcher, or the antenna launcher that I've designed, comes with that compartment. Works great for your weights, works great for an extra little pouch in there, and in this case, it saved the day. So, if you don't have one of these, and you have a 3D printer, you can get one on Maker World. If you don't have a 3D printer, I do sell them on Etsy. The links for both of those will be in the description. But we'll get back to where we were. I just need to swap this out real quick. All right, just like that, we are back in action. Let's try that again. Line around and there. Up this side. Right, that's tied off. Get all that out of here. And just bring our line back through. Alright. That's actually really good up there. Again, it's called the Free Shot if you're looking at it on Maker World. If you're looking for it on Etsy, it is, I've got it, well, I'll put the links in the description. I forget what the heck I've called. All right, so we have, obviously, the, you know, I lied. I am going to use the VNA. All right, so we have the lineup. So now we're going to get the spool out. I decided I am going to use the VNA. It's just going to make my life feel a little easier. To start out with, I'm going to recall 20 meters, which obviously, actually, I'm going to load HF. We can see where it's at, which currently, for some reason, really good on the low band. Alright, I know I'm not gonna surpass it just hooking this up. So I'm starting to feel some resistance, a little too much. So you sometimes just gotta, there we go, break that tension. We're stuck on a bit of a branch here. There we go. All right. We're loaded on not what I want here. So we're going to recall load HF. There we go. This is actually playing very interestingly. But we're gonna go, we want 14. I'm actually right about there as it is. Load 20. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Across the band. Obviously, like I said, this is an 80 meter end fed half wave. I've just got a little bit off the ground and we're sitting at, hopefully you can see that, between 1.25 and 1.5 across the entirety of the band. So what we're gonna do, because I plan on just doing this, and I think that'll show kind of what we've got. I'm going to bring this down, lock that into position. Real good. And now, some little stupid knot here, just something to keep it up, and there we go. I'll recheck this. Look at that, beautiful. All right, so I'll cut back once I've got the G90 set up. Good, I am still recording. All right, hopefully the band condition gods have blessed me. I did not look at them before I decided to come out and make this video. If you're curious what this is, I believe I already have a video that kind of goes over all this, what the different pieces are. Battery, converter, 13.8 volts to the radio. Bing, bang, boom. I have power. Look at that, we're already getting good signals in. And, oh, these are scheduled spots. That's what we want. And we are already on 20. Let's see who we can get here. We can go ahead and get out of that. Let's try 326 out of Kansas. Alright, so that obviously didn't go quite as planned. Unfortunately, it was getting super dark by the time I even got the antenna up. Alright, hopefully that kind of gives a good representation of what the far end spooled end fed half wave can do for you. Being able to go out there with one antenna and conquer multiple situations is much more valuable to me than pretty much anything. I can go out there, I can do 10, I can do all 80, I can do whatever I want. I could do 30 if I wanted to. I just have to tune it to it. So, like I said, unfortunately, it was getting super dark. I didn't get to make any contacts because the very few POTUS stations that were active were getting blown up. There was not a chance I was going to break through, and it was getting dark, and I just wanted to get out of there. If you guys have any more questions, drop a comment down below. I'll try to answer it the best I can. The model for the far end spooled end fed half wave is on Maker World. Same with the free shot. If you don't have a 3D printer, I currently do sell the line thrower. I don't, at this time of making this video, I'm not making the spools for the far end spooled half wave. Far end spooled end fed half wave. It's a long name. I really got to think of something. Anyways, if you like what you saw, hit that like button. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. I've got a bunch of stuff going on. I'm always thinking of new projects to do. So until then, 73, have a good day and see you.